scheme for their fees.
Question number 6, Jacinda Ardern.
Mr. Speaker, my question to the Minister of Social Development and asks, how many times, if any, has the Transition to Work grant or similar funds been used by Work and Income New Zealand to purchase tickets to Australia for job seekers who have found work there?
The Honourable
Mr. Speaker, I can't answer the question, Mr. Speaker. The grant has been in place since 2007. Because it is not the policy intent or acceptable practice, there's not a place to put it in our system, so I would have to manually go back through the last 5 years, and in the last 3 hours I haven't had time to do that.
Jacinda Ardern.
Thank you. Is there any way for her to know with certainty how the discretionary up to $1,500 Transition to Work grant has been used by Work and Income managers?
The Honourable Paula Bennett.
Mr. Speaker, since September this year, any decisions around grants to move people or anything else have been escalated to head office. So that has happened quite recently. There are in the system places where you obviously put what the grants are for. I can give the member some details on the average grant is sort of $363 a week. We've had more than 500,000 of them in the last 5 years. So there's a lot. Some are for clothing costs, so we help dress people. Some are for childcare costs while someone goes for an interview. I'm just trying to answer this question.
Jacinda Ardern.
Is there anything in the Transition to Work policy that would rule out the fund being used to purchase tickets to Australia?
The Honourable Paula Bennett.
Well, except that that's not the policy intent, and that's very clear to staff.
Jacinda Ardern.
Can she assure the House that the discretionary Transition to Work grant has never been used to purchase or contribute to one-way fares to Australia for job seekers who have an offer of employment there?
The Honourable Paula Bennett.
As I've said, Mr. Speaker, no, I can't, and particularly because it's been around since 2007. So it was actually introduced under the previous Labor government. The legislation is actually silent on that, and I can't give a guarantee that far back as to whether or not that's happened.
Jacinda Ardern.
Does she know what is going on with her own frontline services, given that I've been informed of a meeting where Work and Income managers confirmed that Work and Income had offered financial assistance to job seekers to travel to Australia to take up employment?
The Honourable Paula Bennett.
Mr. Speaker, if the member has evidence of that, I'd be very interested in seeing it. It is not my expectation. It is not the expectation of the policy intent. However, it is case managers that distribute it. It has been made very clear to them that they should not be paying for any airfares overseas. And as far as I've seen to date, I don't have evidence of that.
Jacinda Ardern.
Will she investigate whether or not and how often the Transition to Work grant has been used to purchase tickets to Australia for job seekers?
The Honourable Paula Bennett.
Absolutely, Mr. Speaker, because I would be very unhappy to see that as common practice.
Question number 7, Shane Ardern.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My